I play Frances Shea, who is the little sister of Frank Shea, who was part of the Kray twins gang, I suppose, the firm. Who she met Reggie, I think, when she was 16, and they, I think they dated for quite a while, and then got married, and were only married for sort of 8 weeks. It's kind of a bit of a tragic love affair, I suppose. The film is completely about the twins, but she, you know, it is sort of told from Frances's point of view, and I think that has to do with the fact that Brian didn't want to glamorize or glorify their world and their lifestyle, and you know, they did some really awful, unspeakable things, and I think that's kind of nice to have, for the story to be told through the eyes of kind of an innocent character, so that there's someone, I suppose, for the audience to connect with and empathize with. What first attracts her to Reggie is that he's part of this big glamorous world that's really foreign and exciting to her. And then once she falls in love with him and she gets to know him, she realizes how sort of violent and disturbing and awful that world is. And so it's this strange sort of dichotomy there of, you know, what she loves about him is that he's different, but what makes him different is quite terrifying. And so I think she kind of has this idealistic idea in her head that she can take him away from that and he can just be a club owner. But I think perhaps she doesn't realize that just is him, and that's his world. Everybody in East London has a story about the Krays and about Frances, and it's tricky to know what to believe and who to believe. But really, for me, the most important piece of information that I had was Brian actually bought me some of Frances's letters in an auction. 2 letters that she wrote to Reggie, one where she was still kind of like head over heels in love with him, and one where their relationship was coming to an end and she was really quite awful and kind of hateful towards him. And that's really what I held on to the most and really kind of studied that. I felt like to actually have something that she'd written was sort of the truest, you know, piece of her. It's fantastic working with Brian. It's been a dream. It's been really, really great. He's such a sort of calm, grounding presence to have around, which is really helpful. Tom likes to improvise a lot. For me, at first, it was completely terrifying, just because, you know, I'm working with this accent that I'm not particularly familiar with. I'm doing sort of a Cockney accent. So at first, when Tom would kind of throw these lines at me and Brian would be like, just respond, just kind of improvise, I was like, I can't, I really need to be thinking about the sounds that are coming out of my mouth, and it really freaked me out at first, but I got very comfortable very quickly, and it feels like the kind of environment where both Tom and Brian are the sort of people who really, really genuinely care about the project and are not going to let anyone look stupid. So I think I sort of let go of that anxiety a little bit, and it's really nice. I think some of the best moments between Tom and I have come from improvising, and it's mostly when he says something that makes me laugh, and I think that's kind of nice, especially for the scenes where Reggie and Frances are falling in love. Tom will come in as Reggie, and then we'll shoot the scene with him as Reggie, and then he'll go away for an hour and come back as Ron, and it's unbelievable. Like, the transformation is ridiculous, to the point that when he's doing a scene as Reggie, I'm just like so comfortable and happy, and as soon as he comes in as Ron, after 3 months even, it's always a bit like, oh, I don't like Ron very much. Like, he kind of gives me the creeps a little bit, which is great, because that's exactly, you know, how it's supposed to be in the story. This is such a London story. It's so kind of part of the mythology of East London. And if we had to shoot it sort of on a soundstage in Canada, I just don't think it would be the same thing. It's so nice to have that sort of vibe and to be, you know, for a lot of the crew to be speaking in the accent that you're meant to be learning. It's really nice to be just sort of immersed in that culture.
Hello, Valerie here with a cool movie fact. Josh Hutcherson read the entire Hunger Games trilogy in 5 days to prepare for his role as Peeta. For this and more movie facts, click on more videos. See you!